What time is it? Red fertilizer, what time is it? Red fertilizer, what time is it?
Welcome to Real Talk Radio, 93.5 on your computer dial. With your boy Laz and my girl Roxy. Today's topic is why some marriages fail. Hey, what's up, Roxy?
What it do?
Hey, I was on the internet yesterday and I was, just checking out some forums and stuff, checking out some of the topics they had on these forums. And I went to Average Joe and they had this topic on there, why some marriages fail. And I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, he was having problems in his marriages and stuff. So I scrolled through there, read some of the, things that were said. So I was like, hey, that'd be a good topic for us to talk about on Real Talk Radio, being that, we know something about marriage and stuff like that. Maybe we might help them people out that's out there, wondering what they should do to help their marriage work, or maybe we can give them a hint on why their marriage isn't working.
Okay.
My thing is, I think the reason why some marriages don't work is because there's a lack of communication. Men and women don't talk like they should. Everybody's on the go and, got to take the kids to this practice here, and the husband got to be a meeting here, or, there's no time for just sitting down and talking, just in general, how's your day, this and that is, everything's got to be like on a tight schedule or whatever, or you going to be home for dinner tonight, People need to get back to the basics and, plan stuff or just do stuff and keep it going, constantly, consistently, so that way, you make time to sit down and talk about things that's going on at work or at home, or things that need to be done. I just think, that's one of the things that some marriages don't have, and one of the reasons why they go wrong. What you think?
I agree.
Okay.
A lot of times, too, it takes two people.
Yeah, it takes two people. That's why I say, somebody got to make a start somewhere, and somebody got to be the bigger person and step up. Especially if you want your marriage to work. Like my friend, him and his wife, they've talked, but they haven't really sat down and weighed their options, because sometimes, like they say, staying together, is better than being apart. Especially when you got kids involved, you need to try to figure out something, to keep the family together. Because a lot of times when people be breaking up their marriages and stuff, it be for little things, which lead into big things, like infidelity.
A lot of times, too, people need to work on themselves.
What you mean by that?
Because, people be having issues and problems themselves, and they need to work on themselves to get themselves to be a better person.
Right, true that. I think so too. Like they say, the family that prays together stays together. So, if y'all not making time for God, then, hey, he might not make time for you. He'll put some obstacles in your way, but you gotta, overbear them and, seek him out and ask him to help you do things. Anything else that you thinking?
Well, God always got to come first.
That's right. Also, families need to do more things together too. You gotta make time for family time. You also gotta make time for each other. Fellas out there, don't stop dating your wife, because if you stop dating your wife, then you're going backwards. You're going back to, just being there. When you would just come over sometimes and just be there for a minute, then you bounce out. You gotta make time to date your wife. It ain't gotta be like always going out. Just watching a movie together. Eating together. just doing little things, spending that little bit of quality time because this day and age, everybody is so busy.
Yep.
What else you think men need to do, or women?
I think women in general need to uplift their men. Because there's a lot of times, just because, like, say for instance, if the man can't find a job or something like that, they down them.
Yeah, and men gotta uplift their women too. So,